Hey guys, and welcome back to Starborne Frontiers. I'm back in the space. We're exploring the different galaxies here. Thanks very much to Starborne for sponsoring today's video. Today we're going to be looking at one of the epics that I've been using a lot as a main healer that I've been really enjoying and finding a lot of value in, and that is going to be Salvation. I have maxed out my Salvation here. She is an amazing support heal carry for your team, and ever since I've maxed out her skills and basically got her to, I think, the second duplicate bonus, the refit bonus, she has been pumping some incredible carry to my team. So we're going to do a bit of a guide on her today. If you haven't played Starborne Frontiers, it's a very cool hero collector game. You upgrade your spaceships, you equip them out with some pretty good gear. They have some really good deep progression systems, lots of achievement systems, and they have an awesome Abyss mode, which you can see a sneak peek in the next video when I do a playthrough of some of the Abyss stages that I've been playing. I really enjoy that game mode. It's got clan systems, it's got clan boss, it's a really fun game. But in this video today, we're going to be looking at Salvation. Now, all of the characters in this game have an active, a charged, and a passive ability, and the passive ability can normally be upgraded in a refit ability. So for the active ability here, we've got Nano Repair Pulse. This unit repairs 25% of its max HP and grants Bindenberg Resilience 2 for 1 turn. So what does that do? The Bindenberg's Resilience increases your security by 20 and defense by 10%. So it's a pretty strong heal. It heals everyone in this radius. Absolute really strong top tier. I've got it upgraded all the way to level 6. Then we have the charged ability that happens every 2 turns. This unit repairs 30% of its max HP and grants incoming damage down 2 for 2 turns, which decreases the direct damage you take by 30%. So you can see where I'm going with how she's a really great enabler. Then we also have the passive. When she dies, this unit repairs all allies for 80% of its max HP. Additionally, when a buff is purged from an ally, this unit will also repair that ally for 5%. So she is basically a hardcore carry heal support. Not a tank. She's in front line, just behind your tanks, but she's super good at keeping the team healed up. Now, some of the things to notice in Starborne, is very important you take notice of the ability upgrades, your skill upgrades, because they can add a significant amount of difference to your skills. You can see here, for Nano Repair Pulse, we're actually gaining Bindenberg Resilience 2 if we upgrade it to 3, which I have done. You also reduce your charge count, right? It really makes a difference. Make sure you go and grind out those anomalies, get the materials. It's not too difficult. You can synthesize. The system is really kind. I'm currently farming, I think, stage 8, so I'm not even all the way at the top level here, and I'm able to get some pretty good rewards. I'm able to do it in about 1 minute 24, and I was able to max it out pretty quickly. So really, you know, it's not simple and it's not very quick, but it is pretty straightforward for you to be able to fully upgrade the abilities here for this epic character. Is really worth doing. In terms of the refit bonus, I do happen to get it to refit 2, which means I do get this extra bonus here, although I would say it's not essential. The actual really big bonus is the upgrading of the abilities. I think that's where the big power comes in. You do have a few extra refit bonuses here, but the 2 bonuses is really what you want. These are just giving you some base stats. So how have I built the character? Well, we got some implants first. I'm still collecting implants. You know, I'm progressing through the game still. I'm playing it like a normal player would, which I've been kind of enjoying. I've been doing this a lot with lots of new games I've been playing out. I've not been going super hardcore, but playing them like the average player gives me a really good perspective. So I basically focused on security and healing and defense with her, and speed, essentially. I want her to always be going first, so she maintains the team. So we got some speed, haste here. We got some defense. We've put the this major implant for tenacity, so when she receives damage that exceeds 25%, there's a chance that she's going to protect buffs, which means that she's protecting a Bindenberg, which is quite good, right? It's the best thing I've got here. Haven't got many other options at the moment, but I'm building up to it. And in terms of her gear set, I'm a bit low on credits. I haven't been able to max out her gear, but even with these, she's doing a great job for me. Healing is the name of the game. I've gone for healing gear. Healing is very good. The healing set will basically increase your healing by 20%. She's all about that. So what I can essentially do is put 3 sets on here, and we're going to get 60% healing. So it's going to make her heals incredibly impactful. Then all I'm focusing on effectively is defense, right? I want to be able to survive and go fast. As long as she's alive, my team is alive. So that is what I focus on. Speed, defense, crit power. Okay, it's the only one I've got that's 4. I tried to basically get a better option here. I need to go farm some more appropriate gear would be the best way to look at this. But really what you're looking for is speed, security, defense. That is the stats that I'm looking for here so that I stay alive and I go first. So I'm currently progressing through some of the third tier of campaign here, and you'll be able to see when I set her up in the battle now how I'm using her. So she generally sits behind my main leader here, which is Heliodor. Heliodor, if you haven't checked my last video, I did a guide on Heliodor, an amazing support frontline with his own healing. So the two of them together pretty much sustain my entire team, even when necessarily I don't have them all bulked together. Now, I use Griff here to basically make my legendary damage dealer here carry tremendous amounts of damage, right? Griff basically every single turn starts buffing the specific position. Now, the only downside with Griff is it's very difficult to position your team without putting someone in a direct line of fire. You can see here right now, if I put it here, I would have to basically do this. And the moment I do that, my main front line is not protected because I'm putting them in the line of fire. So I often will do this kind of setup. It basically lets me have the most flexibility, but it does mean that we're not going to be able to get the healer covering our backline. But that's okay, because Heliodor is going to help us there. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up here, and you'll see straight away how much healing is getting produced from Salvation. Salvation is in the middle of the team, protecting the team. So we're taking a big amount of damage. You know, this is quite difficult for my level progression. I'm level 20 now. This is, I think, the third tier of campaign or the second tier of campaign I'm going through. And pretty much the front line is never taking any damage. You can see all the buffs that I have up currently is just keeping us nicely topped up with health. Nicely topped up with health. Vindicator there took a bit of a hammering, but you're going to see that when the healing comes out in a moment, it's going to pump it right back up. And then what we're doing at the back here, you can see we're scaling. So Griff is basically adding Ravager stacks. We're increasing the damage. The longer the fight goes on, the more damage stacks from Griff is going on Ravager, and Ravager is going to start absolutely pumping some damage. Right now, we're already up to 3 stacks here. You can see we're increasing speed, we're increasing outgoing damage, it's scaling. This is a long fight, and then once Ravager starts going, we start getting those good damage. But the front line is absolutely not dying here because of the amount of healing that the two main carries, our tank front line and also our support. There's that 6,000 heal, increased damage down, pretty much topped up. Full defensive protection here. Defense matrix, we've got defense up, increased damage down, Binderberg. Great front line. Pretty much we're good here. Now, I only have 1 damage dealer. We are pretty much playing the long game. This is how I've been building most of my progression right now. I don't have an awful lot of damage dealers that I've been able to pick up, and I pretty much have narrowed in on Ravager here with the Inferno at the moment. It's really good for the current arena season. I will be doing a video on the new upcoming feature in the game called Dueling, which I'm really excited for. I'm looking forward to trying out some of that feature. So we're coming up to killing these mostly. You can see that, you know, we've healed a huge amount. It isn't exactly going to be a 3-star event, but we're not losing. That's the key thing. So we're able to push through. Ravager right now is at sort of 2 stacks here. We're holding our own at the front line, and we're just waiting for the team to finish it off. And there we go. We have won. We can see the stats here. If I click more info, you can see how much healing she's outputting. Now, obviously, Heliodor is also an incredible healer, but she's been able to put 394,000 healing out, even though all this damage was taken. You know, the 2 front lines took a pretty big beating of damage. We were able to just clear it through, and that gets us another stage unlocked. I'm moving towards completing stage 10 here for the progress mission, right? I think I'm in brutal difficulty, right? We've got Nightmare to go. Now, she's pretty good in most areas. Right now, she's not great in Arena because Arena has some stadium modifiers where all incoming repair is turned into damage. So you absolutely do not want to use them right now because I put her on my Arena team without realizing and absolutely got annihilated because I killed my own team members. But in the bounty areas here, we can do similar effects. It doesn't really matter what kind of team we go into. We can pretty much put her in and we're always going to survive, right? We can basically reconfigure this. Let's get Heliodor in the front here. Let's put this here, set it up properly, and you'll see that the team will just not really die. It's exactly the same team. We're probably going to get corrosion here. Now, we might need to readjust this because corrosion will probably be a bit of a problem. But, you know, the front line will heal itself up, which is great. It's just whether or not we have enough damage to be able to break through the front line here and start taking down Elan Nafla. This is quite high level, but right now it's okay. It just depends if we need a bit more healing on the back line, because obviously the way we position here, we don't really get the healing from Salvation on our main damage dealer. But the good thing with Inferno is it does do a nice bulk of bit of damage here. You can see like the enemies will take a nice chunk of damage as the Inferno incinerates them. Now, the only thing with Corrosion here in this boss is it does stack up quite a lot. So if you haven't got someone like Purifier, then you can often face a bit of a difficult time. But because of the power of Heliodor and because of the sustain of Salvation, pretty much we can take any damage we need here, because every single time Heliodor takes some damage, he will clear it out. Now, the only downside is once we get to this phase, the boss doesn't really hit us with damage. And that's the only thing to worry about now, is we're not getting that activation from Heliodor's A1, which will remove debuffs when he receives damage. So we're basically now in a race. Can we kill the boss before the boss out corrodes us? And you can already start seeing that corrosion is starting to stack up quite nasty. We also need a bit more hacking on Ravager to be able to land the Inferno, but it should hopefully now keep us going. So we've lost one there because the healing is just not able to keep up with the corrosion, and we just now need to see if we can survive long enough to kill the boss. Heliodor is looking a bit ropey because he's not getting attacked, right? His passive activates when he gets damaged, and this boss doesn't really hit you for that. But what we can see is, look how many buffs that Ravager has right now. He's got 100% direct damage. He's pretty much stacked out, but these corrosion effects, this really hurts, right? It's what's killing our team right now. But Salvation is keeping up with the pace as much as we can here. If we can just hold on a little longer, then we probably have enough here that we can just finish the boss off, right? We're getting closer, but he is looking a bit ropey on the front line there. We just need to hold on a few more turns. Okay, we've lost our front line. So this depends now. We might just be able to sustain with what we've got here, depending on the corrosion. We might not. It's looking pretty good, right? The back line here is pretty solid. It's very hard for it to do much damage. We're kind of sustaining. We just need the Ravager to finish the boss off. So it looks pretty safe. She just doesn't really care too much about a lot of these corrosion debuffs. She's able to out heal it. And there we go. We've taken him down. That's the first time completing for me. I haven't been able to do that before. And again, if we just look at the healing from Salvation, 768,000. Yes, we took a lot of damage, but that 768,000, huge amount of healing. Really a hard carry. That's stage 11 completed, and allows us to pick up a new legendary hull. Really good boost. Increase in buff duration. This is a pretty good dungeon for her to farm because we get that repair set, right? 20% outgoing. Right now she's only got 2 of these. Really, we want 3 of these sets. I need to progress higher and get these higher stages so we can get some 6-star gear going. So that is Salvation. I've been finding the epic tier of characters in Starborne Frontiers to be extremely powerful if you set them up correctly. She doesn't really have a crazy amount of gear loaded out right now. I still need to get some more coins so I can be able to afford to upgrade some of these. I do want to get some better thrusters as well. I'd like to get her into a full healing set. But Salvation, absolutely, if you've got her, probably really one of the best carries you've got right now for your teams as you're progressing through the game. Make sure you check out my next video. I'm going to do a playthrough as I play around some of the Abyss game mode in Starborne Frontiers. It's a really fun game. Thanks again to Starborne for sponsoring today's video. So if you want to check it out, if you really like Space Sim games, it feels like a bit of a 4K hero collector. I really do enjoy that aspect. For all you Sins of a Solar Empire players, if you've ever played the game, you know what I'm talking about. It's a really good game for that. But you can click on the link in the description, download the game. Thanks again to Starborne, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.